22 West.
We are 22 West Radio, the next wave of K-Beach. 22 West Radio is 22westmedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD, 3 Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And welcome to episode 58 of Beyond the Ropes.
Woo!
What a busy week, especially in California, the heat.
Oh yeah, I was melting.
There was a heat wave this past week, the hottest week of the year. Last Friday, temperatures reached to 108 in our area here in Long Beach. Luckily, it's been cooling down. It's only like 81 right now, 82. It's going to get to like 88 though today. So hopefully it'll cool down a bit. Of course, we are always on facebook.com/beyondtheropes, where we post our videos, predictions, and any other comments we would like to share in the wrestling community. We are currently on YouNow with the hashtag
Ask Questions.
And we are currently on Live Me.
Yes.
And how do they find us there?
Live Pro Wrestling Talk Show.
Live Pro Wrestling Talk Show, and of course YouTube, youtube.com. And you can search up Beyond the Ropes, and you'll find various episodes of Beyond the Ropes there. So let's get into it. A lot of news coming out of this past week.
Yeah.
Let's start with the big elephant in the room with Brock Lesnar. I'm sure you've heard. There was a UFC fight. It was past Saturday. There's a new world champion, I guess. I don't remember his name. But anyways, Brock Lesnar, the current WWE Universal Champion, was in attendance. And after the fight, he entered the octagon and officially challenged the new UFC champion.
This is incredible because this guy now has followed McGregor, right? For being he's the second guy to pull off holding 2 belts.
I believe so, yeah. He's now carrying 2 championships. I don't know what they're called. I know that one of them's a world title.
The heavyweight, right?
The heavyweight championship, yeah. And the other one that he had before, I don't know which one he was holding. But he has 2 of them now. An interesting note that, Brock Lesnar made an appearance, but it wasn't in a WWE ring.
But the drug testing...
he apparently did that, secretly. He entered the testing pool, last week. So he has to wait 6 months. This suspension is still going.
It's something because Brock Lesnar, there was a few wrestlers who they tend to get in trouble for this particular substance, and Brock is one of them. Mm-hmm. But apparently, one of the things that wrestlers like to do is there's this one drug that reduces man boobs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Brock, I remember one time failed the drug testing policy because...
Was that recently, or?
It was years ago.
Okay, it was years ago. All right. Yeah. Well, he entered the pool so he could compete in the UFC, have a fight. So it looks like we'll be getting that sometime soon, which kind of, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for us WWE fans, that Universal Champion may stay on him all the way through that fight. Or they
How
might
cool
take it
would it be? It would be something if he entered the octagon with the belt.
That's what I've been hearing. And people want, after the fight, for Braun Strowman to cash in at the UFC. That obviously will never happen unless there's some type of deal that WWE has with the UFC. Obviously, they're letting Brock compete in the UFC, so maybe they do have something going. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's going to change any plans for the Universal Championship. You and I think, both agree that we want that Universal title off of him, and have been wanting for several months now.
I like how there's been footage here and there that, video will surface years later. I remember a long time ago, Undertaker actually went to a Brock fight.
That's right.
So
he challenged, I think he wanted to, challenge him for a fight. That didn't happen originally, but years later it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see where that goes.
And Ronda Rousey footage. They used the audio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for that video game promo.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get into that, but speaking of Ronda Rousey, she was also entered into the UFC Hall of Fame, the first female individual to be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. So it's a big deal for her. Obviously, she is a current WWE superstar, currently suspended, but she will be at Extreme Rules this Sunday. And just remember that we have to give our predictions, so we'll do that kind of at the end of the show. So we just have to remember that.
Thank you for all the hearts. I see them all flying here on Live Me.
Thank you for tuning in for Live. It's Live Me or Live.me?
I've seen both on there.
It's both. All right. So we'll just search up Live Me. I'm sure you'll find us there. But let's get into some recaps for this week. Let's starting with the Go Home show from Monday Night Raw. Obviously, a stacked pay-per-view coming this Sunday. Extreme Rules will now be 4 hours, and all of these pay-per-views are now 4 hours. So they've got to stack the deck and stack the card.
I mean, considering the name of the pay-per-view, I hope there's at least a cameo from like one ECW person, even in the audience or something.
Well, this morning I just noticed that WWE did actually a photo shoot, an ECW photo shoot with, you know, kind of how they do tributes and all that.
With Becky?
Yeah, they did that with Becky, with Tommy Dreamer. Shinsuke was dressed like Sabu. Xavier Woods was dressed like New Jack. I think Kofi and Big E were the Dudley Boys. So, really cool photo.
New Jack was quite the legend.
Yeah, he was quite the individual, definitely.
It's a shame he went blind from one eye.
Yeah, that crazy stuff will do that to you. But let's get into Raw. Let's get into what happened this week. The show started off pretty hot. A huge brawl ensued as Roman Reigns was seen walking backstage, going to the ring, and he was interrupted by Bobby Lashley. And he challenged Roman to call him out. So that's exactly what Roman did. And as Bobby Lashley got out there, they had a huge brawl, and several superstars from the back came out to try and break them up. It was a hot start to the show. It was about a 10 or 15 minute kind of ongoing confrontation between those two. And we got to see an awesome suicide dive from Roman, that over-the-top rope dive he does once in a while, taking out several superstars. So a lot of heat going into this Sunday's event. Kind of a toss-up who may win, especially depending on if Brock competes at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get into the next, the first match, the women's division, a tag team match. Nia Jax and Natalya teaming up to take on Mickie James and the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. A relatively quick match. The faces won, Jax and Natalya. After the match, Alexa Bliss attacked Nia Jax with the kendo stick. However, it didn't really help her that much as Nia Jax got the kendo stick and broke it in half. So those two will compete for the Raw Women's Championship at Extreme Rules in an Extreme Rules match, the only Extreme Rules match that we're going to have this Sunday. Ronda Rousey will obviously be in attendance, front row, for that match. So we'll see her. We can expect to see her there. Maybe she'll get involved. Who knows? Next up, we had a feud that's been going on the last month. Mojo Rawley with some new theme music. A couple of superstars actually got new theme music over the last few weeks.
I wonder if it has to do with like royalties with Jim Johnson. They want to
But I think most of them have were done by the CFO guys, the new guys. They just adjusted them. I know Mojo got a completely new theme song. Bobby Lashley's was adjusted last week as well. They've been doing the Riot Squad also this week. Got a new. They got rid of the vocals part. It was more instrumental. So they've been adjusting the theme songs in recent weeks. I wonder why.
I still think it's Jim Johnson because he was the oldest, longest around executive that they didn't renew his contract.
Right, they didn't renew him.
But I mean, certain iconic ones, I don't know if they're gonna wanna
But they're the newer theme songs. They're not they weren't changing the older ones.
Song?
Right.
Oh.
So, who knows? But I guess we'll find out when we hear an old theme song or any more theme song changes. But yes, Mojo Rawley took on No Way Jose. Mojo got the win. They seemed to be really pushing Mojo. I mean, he did get a new theme song, so that generally entails they're doing something with him.
Was he the last Andre one, or was there a different Andre one?
No,
after?
Matt won
Oh,
this
yeah.
year's, Woken Matt Hardy won this year's Andre the Giant, and Mojo was last year's.
It doesn't seem like people hang on to the Andre trophy like that long.
No, I mean, there's really no point to it. I mean, it's not like you get anything out of it, except the recognition of the trophy.
I mean, didn't Baron like right away break his own or something like that?
Something. No, Cesaro's, when Cesaro won it, I think they broke his,
Oh.
like the next night.
Because, I mean, how great of a heel could you be if you used that on someone? Like,
Yeah. Braun had the greatest Royal Rumble trophy, and that he broke that, I think, by running into it by accident
wow.
on one episode of Raw. But yeah, trophies.
Was it green also?
That one wasn't green. No,
Oh,
the
okay.
title was green, but he never even brought that out. He has his Money in the Bank, his green Money in the Bank briefcase, though.
I wonder what else green he'll have eventually in the future.
Yeah. But yeah, decent match between Mojo and Jose. But we'll see where that goes if they continue that feud.
We'll probably take the first commercial break.
All right, so we're gonna head for a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more Raw after this.
Affordable, professional, and located on the second floor of the USU. Electric Hair has all of your nail and hair needs covered. For an appointment, call 562-958-4522. That's 562-958-4522.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Bell, host of Hidden Vibrations. Every week I'll help you cure the Monday blues with some West Coast oriented indie and surf rock, showcasing lesser known tracks from your favorite artists and upcoming local bands and musicians. Tune in Monday, 5 to 6 p.m. on 22 West Radio.
Did you know that more than 20% of students on Cal State campuses experience food insecurity while in college? Cal State Long Beach is doing something to help that with the Beach Pantry, which is located on the third floor of the Student Union in room 302 and is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Stop by for some food, snacks, and school supplies.
And we are back with episode 58 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
As always, you can find us on Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, where we post videos, predictions, and any additional content we want to share. We are currently on YouNow with the hashtag,
Ask questions.
and we are currently on Live Me with, how did they find us, Sarah?
Live pro wrestling show, and it seems we've already reached the 50 mark. We got 50 people already. in
Awesome.
here.
Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We were going on with Monday Night Raw talk. Let's get on with the next match for kind of a preview for the Raw Tag Team Championship match we're getting this Sunday. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel kind of had their traditional backstage promo with mocking Bray and Matt in their attire,
Oh, the impersonating them?
impersonating them. They've been doing that the last month. It's kind of grown a little tired, so hopefully after this Sunday we won't have to see any of that. But who knows? Matt and Bray have had enough of it. I think they were amused at the beginning, but they definitely got sick and tired of it. Bray Wyatt is back, by the way. Last week he was out because of the car accident he was involved in.
Did he compete, or was he
No,
just
he was just there. It was a singles match between Bo Dallas and Matt Hardy. So, but Bray was there, and he did have a little bit of scuffle afterwards. So it's good to see that he's doing fine. You know, no serious injuries. Solid match. This was a pretty long match. It did have a commercial break, I believe, in between, so they gave this match time. Bo Dallas picked up the victory.
It's a miracle when he wins. Did he do a lap around the ring?
No, but he and Axel did celebrate. They have been celebrating. They've been undefeated since they've gone as the B team. So he hit Matt with like a top rope. He had Matt's legs on the top of the ropes and hit him with like a spinning neck breaker. So pretty devastating maneuver. And after the match, after him and Axel were celebrating, Bray and Matt had enough and started attacking him. And so they stood tall at the end of the match. So, you know, we might see new tag team champions, but who knows? We'll get into that in our predictions in a bit. Next up, I have to load up our results here. Amber Moon took on Liv Morgan. I believe this was a rematch from last week, if I'm not mistaken. because Ember, I believe, has been feuding with the Riot Squad. Ruby Riot is obviously still out with an injury. We're not sure how long she's going to be out for. The announcers haven't said anything.
I didn't know Liv was with Enzo before.
Yeah. Enzo,
She wrecked his car.
yeah, well, apparently he cheated on her, so...
Oh.
So, she was, I think, dating Tyler Bate. I don't know if they're still dating. The first UK champion. So I don't know if that's still going on, but they were kind of a thing for a minute. But yeah, backstage, we also found out, Tyler Breeze was backstage kind of giving the Riot Squad the Fashion Police t-shirts, but they kind of just threw them away and whatever. They've been doing that with the Riot Squad lately, having those backstage segments before they go out. But we did find out Fandango is actually injured. He had to have shoulder surgery, and he's going to be out for around 6 months.
No wonder, I forgot which wrestler. I was watching the match and somebody was going like that, doing the little finger dance.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, he's going to be out. It looks like Tyler Breeze is going to be solo for a bit. Who knows? I mean, hopefully he's not just a jobber. He was great in NXT when he had an NXT, so maybe they could do something with him, but we'll see.
Or maybe they'll use him for comedic purposes, like when he was Nikki.
They might keep him for Fashion Police, but his run in NXT as a heel fashion supermodel was great. Another injury to note was Goldust. Goldust was also in Birmingham, Alabama with Fandango. They actually took a picture together. Goldust had surgery on both his knees. Both of them. He had them wrapped.
I'm hoping he will return to action, because
I think he will.
When he had that heel turn with R-Truth, I thought he was going to have a great push.
And they just didn't do anything. They didn't run with it. And then they kind of almost seemed like they turned him face again. Almost, but he's going to be out for a while. He has both his knees to recover.
They really dropped the ball with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we wish could have happened, but, never does. Anyways, the match with Ember Moon and Liv Morgan, getting back to that, that was a solid match. Liv Morgan is improving as a wrestler. Ember Moon is great. I'm glad, she hasn't suffered a loss since her debut, I think, on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
So good for her. I mean, hopefully it stays that way. She's a phenomenal athlete. But Ember Moon picked up the victory with a roll-up after Sarah Logan tried to make a distraction. So we'll see maybe those individuals feud moving forward. Next up, Baron Corbin, Constable Baron Corbin, in his suit attire, his new attire, wrestling attire. Have you seen that? He wrestles in his it's like a corporate cane almost.
Oh.
He wrestles in like a vest and then long sleeve nice shirt and black jeans or whatever. But he teamed with Elias. And Elias officially confirmed that he's been in the studio, and his album should be coming out very soon. So, looking forward to that. But they actually did a duet where Baron Corbin came out and asked Elias if he knew how to play the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and adjusted the lyrics. Baron Corbin, not the best singing voice, but he sang at the Itsy Bitsy Balor. Obviously, he's feuding with Finn, and he will have a match with them this Sunday at Extreme Rules. So those two faced off against Balor and Bobby Roode. Good news that Bobby Roode, over the weekend we heard that there was a possible injury with Bobby Roode at Madison Square Garden. They had to cut the match short. But luckily he competed. He was just fine this past Monday, so he won't be missing any time. But yeah, there was a scare over the weekend that he might miss out. Really good match, and the heels picked up the victory, which I like. Corbin and Elias, I'm glad they're picking up victories there. I wish Elias was kind of feuding with someone, and so is Bobby Roode. I mean, I would like to see them feud with. They kind of already feuded with each other, but I feel like WWE is dropping the ball with them too, and hopefully, eventually, both of them get some type of title run in the future. But Corbin won with the end of days hitting on Bobby Roode. So Corbin and Balor this Sunday at Extreme Rules to look forward to.
Somebody said something about how about singing.
How about singing?
I think they were referring to Elias.
Oh, okay. He's a great singer. I don't know what to say. Look forward to the album. Should be available on iTunes soon. Thank you for your comments. If you have any other questions, we like fan interaction. If you want to ask us any thoughts or questions. Kevin Owens, throughout the night, was hiding in Kurt Angle's room, his office, because he did not want to interact with Braun Strowman. So he stayed in Angle's office the entire night. That was until Braun Strowman made an appearance, and Kurt Angle made it official that this Sunday, in a steel cage match, Kevin Owens will take on the monster among men, Braun Strowman. I don't know why Kevin Owens is seen as the heel in this feud, because it seems like Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman have kind of been bullying Kevin Owens, because they've been getting enjoyment out of Owens' displeasure over the last month. So I don't know. I would like to see maybe a surprise if Kevin Owens can pick up with the victory, because he's just been getting the bad end of this feud. In the main event, we got Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, and this was really Drew's kind of breakout performance on the main roster since coming up. If Drew won, he would be able to join Dolph as being able to come out on Sunday. But if he lost, he was going to be banned from ringside. Stellar match, and Drew ended up picking up the victory, hitting that Claymore on the former Intercontinental Champion. So, decent episode of Monday Night Raw. Definitely left us a little bit clueless with some predictions, but we'll see. Really looking forward to Extreme Rules and what some of those matches. That Iron match between Dolph and Seth should be good. And we got a new kickoff show match, a match that should be on the main card, but we'll get into that with our SmackDown recap that we're going to have just in a few minutes right now. Getting those up. So SmackDown started off with Miz TV. Miz had the guests of Kane and Daniel Bryan, Team Hell No. And he tried to kind of build some dissension between the two by playing a package of when Kane would attack Daniel Bryan and try to abduct his wife, Brie Bella, and all that. And that obviously didn't go well with Team Hell No, so they started to go after Miz until the Bludgeon Brothers came out, and as they were walking down the ramp, Sanity came out and attacked Team Hell No from behind, which I really liked. That Sanity is kind of being involved in these bigger storylines. And so it was essentially like a 5-on-2 match, and then the New Day came out to make the save, and ultimately Sanity and Bludgeon Brothers were standing tall. They absolutely decimated Team Hell No and the New Day, which led to the main event, which was a 10-man tag team match, Sanity and Bludgeon Brothers taking on Team Hell No and the New Day. So it was a really good match too. So we'll get into that in a bit. The first match was a WrestleMania rematch between the WWE Champion AJ Styles taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, with Rusev Day on commentary. Really good match. Styles and Nakamura have great chemistry. Anytime these two have a match, they're gonna give it their all and have a great performance. The match ended in a disqualification when Rusev got involved and attacked Styles. Jeff Hardy came out, the U.S. champion, and helped Styles, and that led to a tag team match between those two teams, Styles and Hardy taking on Shinsuke and Rusev. Rusev ended up picking up the victory after hitting the Machka kick on the U.S. champion. So the heel standing tall there. Solid match. I don't think Rusev's going to pick up that title, but
I keep getting confused sometimes with Nakamura's name moves, because I know he has a different move set that he uses in Japan. But does he have some kind of move? What was it called? King what again?
Kinshasa?
I know. I sometimes I think of the soda. I'm like, Wait, is it Shasta? Like
No,
Shasta
no,
soda?
Keen Shasa.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no T in there. Yeah. It's the Kinshasa with his finishing maneuver, the knee to the face. But yeah, we did not see a knee to the face. I think we might have seen a variation of it, but we didn't get to see that finish. We might see it on Sunday in the U.S. title match, so we'll have to wait and see for that. Next up, a lumberjack match in the Battle of the Sexes 2 as Asuka took on James Ellsworth. Ellsworth was trying to escape, and obviously the woman kept putting him in the ring, and it led to a huge brawl. Asuka ended up making Ellsworth tap out to the Asuka lock. However, Carmella came out and attacked Asuka, leaving her laying on the mat. Poor Ellsworth, he was just in pain. But we found out after that, backstage, General Manager Paige made it official that the SmackDown Women's title match between Asuka and Carmella will now be a shark cage match because James Ellsworth will now be suspended 20 feet above the ring. So, not good for Ellsworth. Another match that was made earlier in the day was a tables match. As I mentioned, a new kickoff show match. Tables match between Sanity and the New Day. Again, probably should be on the main card, but it's going to be on the kickoff show at least. Hopefully Sanity picks up the victory there. So, finally, and something that I've been kind of looking forward to, lost. There we go. I'm losing my results here. We got to see Andrade Cien Almas back in action. We've only seen him in like a match or two since his call-up. And other than that, he's been cutting backstage promos. But he finally had a match with Sin Cara. And it was a stellar match. Both individuals giving like phenomenal performance. Honestly, these guys should have had that match at the pay-per-view. Because it was an amazing match. Obviously, they're both luchadors. So they were doing a lot of like that luchador style wrestling.
Well, wasn't Sin Cara injured before?
He was originally injured a few weeks ago when they were supposed to have that match.
Yeah, because I think they were going to do a storyline where like they knew each other.
Yeah, that's what they did before that. They knew each other, they were former friends, and Andrade kind of attacked them and said, they're not friends anymore. He doesn't, obviously the influence of Zelina Vega, Almas' manager, or business associate. But yeah, these two had a great match. Almas won with the double knees to the chest area that he would do the running against the ropes. These two, Sin Cara is a phenomenal wrestler. He really should get more TV time. That match on Tuesday proved it. So hopefully we haven't seen the last of those two, but if we have, hopefully they do something with Almas. Maybe include him in the U.S. title scene, something, because they're amazing. So probably the match of the night, I would say. In the main event, Team Hell No and the New Day took on Sanity and Bludgeon Brothers, and really good match. The Faces won, Team Hell No and Daniel Bryan and the New Day, excuse me. And they ended up standing tall. At the end, we got to see something we haven't seen in a while. So Daniel Bryan was kind of doing the yes chants on the ramp, and Kane started doing it, and he got in front of Daniel Bryan, so he covered him. And then Daniel Bryan kept trying to do Kane's kind of pose in the ring where he's, the flames come up. So he did that like twice, and he kept trying to bring up the pyro, like he was doing it, but there was no pyro. And then finally, the third time, we got to see some fire, actual fire, come out on the stage. And Kane was like confused. Another thing to note was something really funny was NSYNC references. In the beginning of the show, when Kane and Daniel Bryan were on Miz TV, they mentioned a joke about NSYNC and how and Kane brought up NSYNC would never reunite because JT's just too big now. And then backstage, when the New Day and Team Hell No were kind of talking and trying to build up some momentum, Kane used a quote from an NSYNC song, and Daniel Bryan called him out on it. He's like, "Is that an NSYNC song?" And Kane was just try to no sell it. Really funny segment. Check it out on their YouTube page or something. I'm sure it's up there. But anyways, that was SmackDown. Solid SmackDown. So we have Extreme Rules coming up this Sunday. And maybe another commercial break. So we'll be right back, and we'll be giving our predictions after the break.
1 in 5 college women are sexually assaulted. 1 in 6 men are sexually assaulted in their lifetime.
The YWCA Greater Los Angeles, in partnership with Cal State Long Beach, is committed to providing confidential support and advocacy services to survivors of sexual violence here at Cal State Long Beach. We pledge to honor survivors who have broken their silence and support victims who have yet to find their voice.
Campus sexual assault victims advocate services are located at the Women's and Gender Equity Center at LA 102. Find more information at our website www.csuob.edu/WGEC.
Did you know that 71% of students at Long Beach State receive financial aid? In 2016, Long Beach State awarded $12.3 million in scholarships. Not only that, each year more than 1,500 students are served by disabled student services, leaving no barriers in their path to an education.
This one's kind of
At
blocking
the beach,
you.
we know no barriers. It's a philosophy that
This one's
applies
kind
to
of blocking
everything
you.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Hey, I'm Rob Flores, the host of the Golden Spotlight. Join me as I showcase a variety of guests.
I am what they refer to as an exoneree.
Hi, I'm Carla Perez, otherwise known as Rita Repulsa, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the television series.
As people have told me before, like, you're really funny, you should try stand-up. And that's probably how every comedian starts.
Took an EMT course 6 months later, and the next thing I know, I was a firefighter.
I do all my own music videos, I edit my music videos, I write the concepts for the most part, I direct the filming of it, etc. So I have a blast with it.
Every week, someone steps into the spotlight, and it's always a new story. So join me every Monday at 2 p.m. on 22 West Radio. You never know what we have in store.
So we'll be right back, and we'll be giving our predictions after the break.
1 in 5 college women are sexually assaulted. 1 in 6 men are sexually assaulted in their lifetime.
The YWCA Greater Los Angeles, in partnership with Cal State Long Beach, is committed to providing confidential support and advocacy services to survivors of sexual violence here at Cal State Long Beach. We pledge to honor survivors who have broken their silence and support victims who have yet to find their voice.
Campus sexual assault victims advocate services are located at the Women's and Gender Equity Center at LA 102. Find more information at our website www.csuob.edu/WGEC.
Did you know that 71% of students at Long Beach State receive financial aid? In 2016, Long Beach State awarded $12.3 million in scholarships. Not only that, each year, more than 1,500 students are served by disabled student services, leaving no barriers in their path to an education.
This one's kind of
At
blocking
the beach,
you.
we know no barriers. It's a philosophy that
This one's
applies
kind
to
of blocking
everything
you.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Hey, I'm Rob Flores, the host of the Golden Spotlight. Join me as I showcase a variety of guests.
I am what they refer to as an exoneree.
Hi, I'm Carla Perez, otherwise known as Rita Repulsa, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the television series.
As people have told me before, like, you're really funny, you should try stand-up. And that's probably how every comedian starts.
Took an EMT course 6 months later, and the next thing I know, I was a firefighter.
I do all my own music videos, I edit my music videos, I write the concepts for the most part, I direct the filming of it, etc. So I have a blast with it.
Every week, someone steps into the spotlight, and it's always a new story. So join me every Monday at 2 p.m. on 22 West Radio. You never know what we have in store.
And we are back with episode 58 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
As always, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, where we post content, video footage, and predictions. And we are also on, with the hashtag
Ask Questions.
And Live Me.
Live Pro Wrestling Radio Show.
Alright, so speaking of predictions, let's give our predictions for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view happening this Sunday. You see where it's taking place. It'll be taking place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so the home of the general manager and Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. So, let's start with the kickoff show. The New Day will take on Sanity in a tables match. So I'm not sure if they all need to go through a table or if it's just one person, but I guess we'll find out on Sunday. What are your thoughts here?
Oh man, I would hate for the Sanity to lose so quickly.
I don't think they've won a match.
Yeah.
They've had 2 matches on SmackDown and they've lost.
I would prefer if Sanity wins.
All right. Yeah, I'm saying Sanity. Sanity needs to win. Yeah, they need to show their dominance here, and I think they'll pick it up. For the Raw Women's Championship in an Extreme Rules match, the only Extreme Rules match of the night, with Ronda Rousey sitting front row, Alexa Bliss, the Raw Women's Champion, will defend her championship against Nia Jax. What do you have here?
I don't see the championship exchanging hands yet.
I agree with you. Alexa Bliss, I think, is going to continue to feud with Ronda Rousey after this. I think they made that clear when Rousey put a Bliss through a table a few weeks ago. And I think they're going to have a match at SummerSlam, and maybe that's where Ronda will finally pick up that title. So we're both saying Bliss there. So right now we're kind of, right now we're on even ground. We're agreeing with everything. Let's go with these Raw Tag Team Championships. The Woken Warriors, the leaders of Worlds, Woken Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt will defend their Raw Tag Team titles against the team of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, the B Team.
I feel that if the B Team doesn't win, they'll split. So I think the B Team needs to win.
I think the B Team's going to suffer their first loss here. I don't know what Matt and Bray are going to do after if they lose.
Because if they lose, maybe it's a thing where Bray's remembering himself.
I don't know if they're going to turn Bray. They would turn Bray back again. I'm going to say Matt and Bray retain. So there, we got our first difference of opinions there. That's good. Let's go for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Bludgeon Brothers will take on the reunited team Hell No of Daniel Bryan and Kane.
Oh man. It would be something if Team Hell No wins.
You got Team Hell No?
Yeah.
Do you think they
But they're gonna get beat down by Sanity.
Really? Okay.
Eventually this all ends with Sanity taking out Kane. They're gonna keep his mask as a little prop and Kane's gonna go back to politics.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
It's gonna be like X-Pac, where he used to hang on and wear the mask.
I'm saying Bludgeon Brothers retain. I don't think Team Hell No is a long-term thing, so I'm saying Bludgeon Brothers are retaining. Let's go with Baron Corbin taking on Finn Balor. No stipulations, just a one-on-one match.
But then Corbin wins.
I'm saying Balor.
Because Corbin might change the rules and stuff.
Well, he has Constable Corbin.
He can add a special ref, do whatever.
Well, that'd be interesting. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm going with Balor. He pulls it off. Let's go with the SmackDown Women's Championship, with James Ellsworth being suspended above a ring in a shark cage. The Women's Champion Carmella will defend against the formerly undefeated Asuka. So who do you have here?
This is gonna be the same thing like when Enzo was in there, cause
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Ellsworth is like Tweety Bird, small body, big head, but he could slip right through the bars.
I think he's smaller than Enzo too.
Yeah.
So he can definitely fit through those bars. Who do you have?
So he's gonna slip out and help win.
That's a tough one. I don't know if they're gonna have Oscar lose again.
Yeah, because
No.
then it'll be believable
I
because
think
it's that she was cheated.
I think Oscar's gonna win the title because Ellsworth is gonna accidentally cost Carmella the title. He might escape the cage, but he might do something where he'll make a mistake, accidentally, not hit her, but maybe bump into her or something, where Oscar gets the advantage and she picks up the title finally. I think that's what's gonna happen. But I could be completely wrong. They might want to keep Carmella champion. But I'm just going to go with Asuka here. Alright. Next match for let's do the steel cage match that was just announced on Monday between the Monster in the Bank, Braun Strowman, and Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
I agree. He's going to escape. I don't know how he's going to do it.
He's probably gonna get him so angry that he shoves him in the whole cage wall, falls off too with him, and Owens is out.
Well, you know how well that worked out for Roman.
Wow.
But yeah, that might actually happen. I could definitely see that. I think Owens is gonna win that. For the WWE United States Championship, I'm looking forward to this match. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on the champion, Jeff Hardy.
Shinsuke finally gets a title.
I hope so. Something tells me they could just not give it to him. But I'm going for Shinsuke. I agree with you. We're agreeing here, but yeah, I think Shinsuke finally picks it up. Next up, Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns. This is probably going to be the main event, the way this is being booked.
Lashley.
It is a tough one, honestly.
You can't feed everybody to Roman.
Yeah, I'll go with Lashley. I don't know. Does that mean Lashley faces Brock at SummerSlam? Is Brock even going to show up at SummerSlam?
I mean, that would be great for Lashley to finally get what people have wanted.
But Lashley wouldn't win that Universal title.
I haven't seen Lashley compete, but does he have those sponsored shorts or anything like that?
No.
Because I was wondering about his whole endorsement deal stuff, because he was in, what was he in, Bellator?
He was in Bellator, but no, it's just regular attire. Yeah. If Lashley wins and if he does face Brock at SummerSlam, if that match does happen, Brock's retaining that title. Because I don't think... The only two people I think are going to beat Brock for that title are Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. And Braun Strowman only because he has that Money in the Bank contract. It wouldn't be a one-on-one match, so... but yeah, I'll go with Lashley on that. Next up, I believe we covered most of them. So let's go with the 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Championship, what should be maybe the match of the night between Seth Rollins and the current champion Dolph Ziggler, who will be accompanied by Drew McIntyre.
Dolph Ziggler.
That's a tough one. I could see Seth regaining the title and there being some dissension between McIntyre and Dolph. I'm going to go with Seth. I'm going to go out on the limb there and say Seth. I wouldn't mind seeing Dolph retain. I think it's great. It's great for him, but...
Yeah, because, then if McIntyre and Dolph, go against each other,
That's
they could
right.
go against each other for something, for
You're
grabs.
right. Now I changed my prediction. I'm going with Dolph. You're right. I forgot about that. That's what would lead them to a split is the title. So yeah, I'm going with Dolph on that. And for which maybe should be the main event, probably won't be considering WWE's history. For the WWE Championship, Rusev will finally get his very first one-on-one match for a world title, taking on the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Oh man, if Rusev can finally get his moment in his career.
You're going with Rusev?
Yeah.
Styles is gonna retain. and he's gonna keep that title and surpass CM Punk's WWE title reign. He's gonna hold that until like at least for a Rumble, I think. He might go all the way to WrestleMania with it, honestly.
I feel like he could feud with Joe without a belt.
I think they're gonna keep that belt intact, so Joe goes after it, which kind of sucks because that means I don't think Joe will win, and Joe hasn't won a title. He hasn't won a major feud either, much like Shinsuke since coming to the main roster, which is kind of disappointing. But I think they need a title for that feud.
Had he stayed on Raw, he would have had a belt sooner because he would have continued working for Triple H.
Well, at least with that Intercontinental title. Yeah, so those are our predictions. No promises. I'll try to get them posted on our page on Facebook, but if not, of course, we'll have a video. Hopefully the video will be up by Sunday. No promises either. That's on Rob. But either way, we'll see. We're looking forward to Extreme Rules this Sunday. We've got a few minutes left.
Oh, yes. JR.
Yeah, some news over the weekend. Something we didn't talk about. I have not seen it yet, but there was the G1 special in San Francisco at the Cow Palace, where New Japan had a series of matches. In one of those matches, it was for the United States champion, Switchblade Jay White, defending against formerly known as CJ Parker in NXT, Juice Robinson, and they did a spot where Switchblade did a suplex on Juice on the guardrail. You hear this? Yeah. We have some technical difficulties here, but we'll pull through. Last couple of minutes. He hit a suplex on the guardrail in front of the announce table where Josh Barnett and JR were doing commentary, and apparently the guardrail pushed the table into JR's ribs and caused a break. He broke one of his ribs. Wow. Josh Barnett, his commentating partner, who is also an MMA fighter and a wrestler as well, who has trained a number of the individuals in New Japan, wasn't too happy and actually stood up and got in, was going after Jay White, and apparently it wasn't a work or anything. So yeah, a very serious situation there. Wow. We wish JR a speedy recovery, and hopefully he gets well soon. So.
And now for looking back in time, a very tragic moment in the Attitude Era.
We're talking about Owen Hart, of course, right? Yeah. There was actually some news on Owen Hart, his widow, which we'll get into right now. But yeah, Owen Hart, was it like 20 years ago today? Or more than that? It was very soon. It was like 20-something years ago. A tragic incident. But yeah, what did you want to...
Well, where exactly what arena did he die in?
I have no clue.
Because I've seen that there's like a documentary.
That's right. Today, actually, it's not an Owen documentary, but there's actually a wrestling documentary called 350 Days. I don't know if you heard about that.
I don't know if it's the same one.
Okay, well, there's one called 350 Days, which is actually only in theaters today. It's like a Fathom event for the movies at 7 p.m. I know they're showing it here in Long Beach at the Town Center. But at 7 p.m. where it's a documentary about wrestling, and, Bret Hart and various wrestlers are involved, and they talk about, life on the road and stuff, so.
Oh, this is different then.
Okay, well, talk about the documentary.
The place is haunted.
Really?
And there's a clip of Randy coming out to his entrance, and Randy doesn't normally look up, for no reason.
Randy Orton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's looking up, and maybe it's a glitch, maybe it's Triple H's King Skull graphic that's appearing up in the Titantrons, but those screens you see at the top when you're in the audience, you should be able to see what everybody else is seeing on TV.
Right.
But you can see Randy's freaked out. There's
Huh.
like a skull face that appears on the top.
That's weird.
Very few seconds.
Huh, that's odd. And it was the same arena that Owen.
Mhm.
Wow, that's crazy to hear. I know there was comments. Bret Hart had made comments about Owen, and I didn't read anything about it, but I know his widow responded to Bret.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think it was a pleasant response. So I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, many people want Owen in the Hall of Fame,
Oh yeah.
but his widow doesn't want.
It
Doesn't
was
want to include him.
very moving seeing Mark Henry's speech.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we're winding down on time, we've got another minute here. Caitlin, yeah, some news that we got over the last few days. The Mae Young Classic one is coming back. We've kind of known that for a few months. But former Divas champion Caitlin is returning to the WWE after a 4-year absence. She kind of went into bodybuilding and kind of left the wrestling business, but now she returned earlier this year, had a match, and she has officially joined the Mae Young Classic as the first competitor in there. So, huge news. We'll get some more news on that. We got new NXT Tag Team Champions. The Undisputed Era have regained those tag team titles from Mustache Mountain. We'll talk more about NXT and maybe 205 Live next episode. But until next time, we're signing off. As always, you can catch us on Facebook, facebook.com/BeyondTheRopes.
And next week, you're going to be on Monday's show.
That's right. I'm going to be on Monday's show. I forgot about that. But I'll be on the Golden Spotlight on Rob's show at 2 p.m. Pacific time, where I'll be conducting an interview. So tune in for that. But until next time, thank you for tuning in. I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And this episode is about to be deleted.